going on, everybody? Cryptip Help back again with another video, and this time we're going to discuss what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on with the markets, and what's going to be happening in the future. So guys, before we get into it, let's hit this subscribe button. We can see we are growing now. We have got 385 subscribers. Now we want 400. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Hit the like button and let's just get into it. So guys, last night we had Jerome Powell on interest rates, and as you can see, the interest rates were paused. Now, for me, that is positive news, and for everybody else, this is positive news. I'm just going to reduce this to the 1 hour, just so you can see from a micro perspective. So guys, if you can see here, look, you can see the interest rates were paused around about this area. So the good news is interest rates are paused, which is good news because less people are going to be defaulting on mortgages, loans, etc, etc. But why did the market do the opposite? So the reason why is we're going to discuss in a short period of time. But have you ever heard of buy the rumor, sell the news? So the news was good, but the market tanked. And I know a guy who had $1 million long on Bitcoin because of the news. So he went in on, he thought that the market was not going to raise interest rates, which was fine. That's good news. So the market should pump, and the opposite happened. And these market makers will do that. They will get the good news out there. Everybody starts jumping in along. They've all got long positions in. What happens is they get trapped. The market dumps, and all of a sudden everyone's stopped out. So for me personally, I had buy orders in at 25.4 round about these low areas, and I didn't think it was going to drop even below. And what's worrying is, I'll show you this long trend line in a minute. We broke down this trend line and we've come back up and retested it as resistance now, so we're not even in support, and obviously we've come back. So for me personally, we need to get into this support area to have any chance of moving back up. If not, we could be in for further downside, which I'll show on the daily chart, because it's good to have macro perspective as well as micro. So as you can see on the 4 hourly, in fact I'll show you on the daily quickly, we've had this long support look from this area. Yeah guys, I know we've dipped out, but we've always closed back in and we've went on the upside. So this is a major bad bear sign look. So for us to even get up in there would be great, but in my eyes we've lost this as support now. And for my personal opinion, I think we could drop further back down to these levels, 23.8, and if it gets really messy guys, we could even drop back down around these areas to 21.5. Now I know that has been super bearish, but also guys, you've got to have perspective and you've got to see what the outcome is, not running on emotions like what most people do. Remember, at the minute guys, the sky is falling down, Chicken Little. The world's falling and everybody's selling. But just think about this guys. We've been in this market for years, right? And I just want to show you this Wall Street cheat sheet. We were up here. And if you've kept your bags from here all the way down to this area, why the fuck would you want to sell right now at one of the lowest areas that can possibly go? I mean, you've rode all this, so why would you sell now? I know people are feared and they want to just sell and get out the market, but that's exactly what the market makers want to do, because they want these buys around this area. And for me personally, I think we've been through the anger period. We're coming to the depression period in my eyes, and then the market will start again. And that's what I want. I want this side because I've rode it from the top, and now I'm going to hold it during this area. Up this area, yes, my family was semi-retired. I had a lot of money, and what I could do is, guys, I was just buying all different assets, and the market tanked. Now that was a big lesson for me, a big lesson for you. But guess what guys, the cycle repeats itself. So now we're coming into the depression phase where a lot of people have given up and they would have sold their crypto. This is where the disbelief comes in, and guess what? The hope starts all over again and boom, back up again. And this time you've learned from the previous cycle not to do the same mistakes. So if you look at the the fear in the market, the crypto fear and greed indicator, you can see there's fear. So when there's blood in the streets, people with liquidity can purchase these for a lot cheaper, which is brilliant. So like I said earlier, guys, this is on a macro perspective. If we lose this, guys, we could be coming down in this depression phase, which is fine. I know we've been dollar cost averaging for a while now. This is one of the longest bear markets in a while. So in my opinion, right now people thinking it's time to turn, but when you look at all the stuff going on in the markets these days, it's just incredible of what's going on. So people are scared, which is understandably, but why on earth would you sell round about these areas? I mean, it can go lower. There's no doubt about that. It can go lower. But why would you sell around these areas? If you've been up this area now, why the fuck would you sell down here? I just don't get it. But that's the psychology of the market, you see. Everything's run on emotions. So when the emotions are high, people are they don't believe in the markets round about these areas. They wait until the thrill and euphoria moments, and then they think, right, it's time to buy. Let's buy. Everybody buy. Retail's buying while the smart money's selling out. And then all of a sudden, boom, we come down here. So the retail markets, the dumb money who's bought in here are down these areas here, waiting for it to go back up to sell to break even. Me included, I was part of that dumb money. But I've learned and I've got myself around decent people who are educated, and this will never happen again. So when we come into these areas again, I will be just filling out of the markets on the belief stage, the thrill stage, the euphoria stage, and then I'm out of the market, and then history repeats itself. And when we're down here, this is where you get the biggest bargains, and you've got a lot of liquidity to get in there and get them at a discount. Whereas now people who got here all the way down here, they haven't got any more liquidity to buy when it's cheap, and when it goes back up to there again, they're breaking even and they're selling, and that's not what we want to do. But this is what the markets do, guys. These people will drive the markets to where they want to suit. So the liquidity wise, dropping down these areas, they want this, because I'm going to show you why in a minute. In fact, I'm going to show you now. So guys, this is a great thread, and if you don't follow Bitcoin culture, I would highly recommend it. So did you know while the SEC is busy suing Binance and Coinbase, BlackRock and the biggest banks in the US silently bought record amounts of Bitcoin? Now why is that? So these banks buying Bitcoin in Q1 include BlackRock, Bank of America and Fidelity. What do they know? So if you go through the thread, it goes into finer detail of what. So I'll just quickly go through some of the stuff. So looking at the biggest holders of Microsoft strategy, we can see some big banks have been buying huge amounts of Microsoft strategy in Q1 2023. So you've got the BlackRock, you've got the Bank of America securities, and look at the total change. So with the SEC lawsuits and Operation Choke Point 2.0, why are these banks buying stocks correlated to BC price? So if you look at the graph of Microsoft strategy, Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, look at Microsoft strategy. It's a league of its own, even against Bitcoin. But look at the NASDAQ, it's absolutely poor. So Bank of America have curiously increased their exposure. But why is that, guys? Because they know something that's going to happen. They know that history is going to repeat itself. Now Bitcoin down 60% of when they got in 2021, I believe. So even just going through this, if you follow the herd, you follow the news, you are going to get burnt. It's as simple as that, because the herd, like I say, they follow what's going on in the news, they get people to sell, everybody sells, the sky's falling down, and these guys just suck up all that liquidity, all these assets at a discounted price. And then the next market cycle will repeat itself, and this is where the big banks make all the money. And that they've got the power to drive all this sentiment down, and people are fearful. So for me, I'm not selling, even at a loss. I'm not selling, no way. Look at these people with trillions in assets on their books. Trillions, guys. The crypto market's only worth 1 trillion. Wait till the next bull when I can assure you there's going to be significant wealth built from the people, even from likes of retail who are in now, and people want to be buying when it's discounted like this now. And people say yes, it may go down further. Fair enough, it may go down further, but if you DCA in over the long period of time, you're going to make a lot of more money than just now selling at a loss, and then you're fucked basically. So I'll go through this thread, have a look at it, guys. It is a good thread, and it does go into this in finer detail, and it's just telling you about BlackRock and why they are buying it. Why do you think Coinbase and Binance are all getting sued? Fearful in the market, and even there's FUD at the moment about Tether as well. So if you're in the news now about Tether, everyone's scared about Tether. Why? They're feared. They want people to start selling, so it dips below its peg. People start panicking again, and the market's falling down. The sky's falling. It's never going to be the same. Look on the sentiment of Twitter now. Crypto is dead. It's never coming back. This is a perfect time to take an opportunity. People with the biggest balls make the biggest rewards, and that's how it's always been. Look at the sentiment from 1920s. Look at the stock market crash. Every single time it's recovered, and it will do the same again. So guys, you can either sit on the fence and wait, or you can start dipping your toes now. Let's just look at Tether. Look, it's trending on Twitter. People are fearful of it. This is one of the biggest stable coins worth billions. So what can we get from here? See a lot of FUD on my timeline right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Remember, Tether is backed by one-on-one currency. So for one USDT, there is $1. There is in fact, I'm going to quickly show you actually before we leave this video. For people that are in USDT and are worried what to do, if you just go into USDT here, what we got 99.6. So the FUD, I mean 0.3. It's ridiculous. But if you just want to go onto their website, guys, it explains everything that they do. Transparency is there, where the funds are held. I'll just quickly show you before this video ends. Sorry for ranting on too long. Anyways, if you're liking this content so far, guys, could you hit the like button, subscribe? I'd really appreciate it, because I really want to grow this channel. I really want to do. I'm so excited for the next bull market. And if I can get this, the higher I can get it, the better. Because I just want to keep pushing and keep putting content out there for you. Because I don't want people to get feared out of the market. I really don't. Especially in times of this when we're pretty much at the bottom. So I never accept these. But if you go through, guys, like how it works, it tells you the transparency. So it'll tell you why. So USD and Tether, it's got also different currencies, how much money's in that currency. There's the current balances on different blockchains. The reports and reserves, the bridges, and basically it just tells you how it works. There's a video on here, I think, that goes through it. So basically, guys, they refer to stable coins because they offer price stability. So all Tether tokens are pegged at 1-to-1. So with a matching fiat currency, like I said, one USDT is $1 and are backed 100%. So it's not like, let's not talk about it, but if you remember about Luna, but their peg, it was all stable coins. For every Luna you buy, you get a Tether and it balances itself out. This is one-on-one. So if you go on, it tells you how these are issued. So if you go on to tether.to, it'll tell you how it works. So if you're in Tether now as a stable coin ready to pounce on all these bargains, then have a look at this and it will reassure you. Now, we've had Tether depeg before a little bit, but it's always come back. And I would just highly recommend looking at this. So guys, another thing I want to show you is my Telegram group. So if you go into my Telegram group, I'll leave a link down below for you guys. So if you look, I just go through some stuff about me trades, why I'm trading, the profit percentage that I've took, me setups. So if you look on me setups, where my stop losses are and where me take profits are, stuff like that. I mean, take what you want from it. You can make it your own. But there's quite some interesting news about what's happening in the market. Me percentage profits that I've taken, which is not always profits. I do lose, which we do. But as long as our wins are bigger than my losses, then we're winning. Just obviously putting interest on the other videos that you can watch. And it's just for entertaining purposes only. And if you want to get in on that, I'll leave a link below. So guys, just before I go, I'm going to be a right pest. I'm going to ask you kindly if you could hit that subscribe button down on the bottom right. If you can see, I'd really appreciate it. We can grow this to 400, guys. I really want to get to 400. So if you can hit the like button, guys, I appreciate it. But that's it on today's video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.